This Week in Astrology video forecast. This is episode number 22 for the week of July 28th, 2014. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Benjamin Bernstein of astroshaman.com, coming to you from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm an astrologer, shamanic healer, and awakening activator, and it's my pleasure to bring you these weekly forecasts. So, what's going on for the week of July 28th? Well, the decade-long Uranus-Pluto square gets retriggered again this week as T-squares involving both Venus and Mercury peak. Embrace revolutionary transformation of relationships, creativity, thought, and more. Other skylights include a healing grand trine, an intense Mars-Jupiter square, and an edgy Mars-Chiron sesquiquadrate. The only old thing I want to mention before we get into our days is that we have a waxing moon. So, let's get into our individual days of the week. On Monday, July 28th, we have Venus opposing Pluto. Venus is at 12 Cancer, Pluto is at 12 Capricorn. Proactively embracing the ways in which your relationships can change for the better is a great way to use a Venus-Pluto opposition. This can also add sizzle to sacred sexuality, empower creativity, and stimulate financial opportunity. With Venus in Cancer, what positive change can you bring to your family interactions? This opposition is part of the Venus-Uranus-Pluto T-square that peaks on July 30th. On Tuesday, July 29th, we have Mars sesquiquadrate Chiron. Mars is at 2 degrees Scorpio, and Chiron is at 17 degrees Pisces. So this may just be a minor hard aspect, but this Mars-Chiron sesquiquadrate, the aspect is 135 degrees, it's also known as a sesquisquare, can trigger wounding nonetheless. Ouch! If you point a finger at the catalyst, be sure to also notice the 3 fingers pointing back at you. Whoops! So, what can you do to heal the deeper wound within you that this event triggered? My healing invocation may help. Hopefully there's a link to it appearing on the screen right now. If not, you can go to astroshaman.com and click on the top of the homepage sidebar where it says Heal and Awaken Invocations. And the last article in that little section you'll go to is how to do the healing invocation. You just say the 7 words, maximum healing that serves highest good please. You're saying this to your higher self. And close your eyes, relax into your breath, and wonderful healing energy will come on down to help you out. Wednesday, July 30th, we have the Sun quincunx Neptune. The Sun is at 7 Leo and Neptune is at 7 Pisces. A strong desire for escape, whether through substances or distracting activities, can arise under a Sun-Neptune quincunx. That's a 150-degree aspect. Martyrdom and aimlessness are other possible challenges. To harness this energy for the good, connect with the profound bliss that only Spirit can provide. And another invocation I have, the core invocation, may help with this. You just say again to your higher self, maximum light and divine consciousness that serves highest good please. Rest passively in the breath and the energy will come to help you out. And with the Sun in creative Leo, be sure to manifest your creative inspirations. Also today we have the asteroid goddess Vesta entering Scorpio, and she'll be there through October 6th. In general, Vesta represents sacred service to a greater cause, but in Scorpio, one of her juicier meanings, sacred sexuality, is emphasized, providing extra support for explorations in this area. Also today, that T-square I talked about with Venus, Uranus, and Pluto peaks. So, how much nurturing are you receiving in your relationships, especially with your family members? Remember, Venus is in Cancer. Revolutionary transformation in how you relate and with whom is supported by the Cancerian Venus along with Uranus and Pluto in that T-square, which hopefully you are seeing. Well, I know you're seeing it because I'll be pasting the graphic right over here. So, paradigm shifts in your creativity and finances are also supported by this aspect pattern, which started on July 26th, peaks today, and ends on August 3rd. And we have yet another aspect pattern that you're seeing here come up on my side, a Thor's hammer with Mars, Jupiter, and Chiron. Healing and mentoring receive significant support by this Thor's hammer aspect pattern. That's a square and 2 sesquiquadrates, in case you're wondering. It started on July 24th, peaks today, wraps up on August 4th. With energizing Mars and Jupiter focusing their energies on wounded healer Chiron, don't be surprised if unresolved emotional and psychological issues get triggered. But remember that every triggering is also a healing opportunity, and once again, you should be seeing that link to my healing invocation there on the screen. Thursday, July 31st, last day of the month. What do we got? Mercury entering Leo. It's going to be there through August 15th. This supports public speaking, acting, singing, and all flavors of the performance arts. Creative writing and getting your ideas into the spotlight is also supported. Friday, August 1st. Welcome to August. We have Venus square Uranus. Venus is at 16 Cancer, Uranus is at 16 Aries. The theme of relationship intensity that started with Monday's Venus-Pluto opposition continues today with this Venus-Uranus square. Plutonian change can be slow, but Uranus can strike like a lightning bolt. So let your intuitive flashes guide you in making any revolutionary changes that serve the highest good in your relationships, creativity, and finances. And by the way, just a personal note, some people may believe I'm left-handed if you watch this video because all of my gesturing is with the left hand, but guess what? My right hand is holding a mouse with which I am scrolling my teleprompter, so I'm really right-handed, but my left hand's the only hand available. Thought you might be interested in that. Anyhow, this square is part of a Venus-Uranus-Pluto T-square that peaked on Wednesday, and we've already talked about that. Also today we have two trines. Venus is trining Saturn and trining Chiron. At this point Venus is at 17 Cancer both times. Saturn's at 17 Scorpio, and Chiron is at 17 Pisces. They're also making an aspect pattern, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So, with all the stress Venus is under from Pluto and Uranus, it's good to know that other planets are offering assistance. A Venus-Saturn trine offers foundational support to Venus's core meanings. Those are, of course, relationship, creativity, and money. And a Venus-Chiron trine opens the door to healing and mentoring. Next up, Mars square Jupiter. Mars at 4 Scorpio and Jupiter at 4 Leo. The basic meaning of a Mars-Jupiter square is the amplification of sexuality, leadership, warrior spirit, and innovation. With Mars in Scorpio, sacred sexuality, shared resources, occult activities, and investigation are also fired up. Now, that grand trine I was mentioning, the Venus-Saturn-Chiron grand trine that started on July 25th, peaks today and ends on August 7th. This grand trine's healing energies focus on interpersonal relationships, creativity, and finances. With Venus in Cancer, all of this can be productively focused into family matters. And I should have a link up here right now that links you to a greater description of that grand trine with Venus, Saturn, and Chiron from last week's forecast. My understanding is that the annotations that I always put on these videos are visible from most places, but they may not be visible if you're viewing me on a phone or a tablet. So my apologies if the annotations that I have added are not visible in those circumstances. So what about Saturday, August 2nd? We have Mercury and Jupiter conjunct, both around 4 Leo. All the meanings of Mercury and Leo I just gave when I talked on Thursday's forecast are powerfully amplified by Mercury's conjunction to Jupiter today. Thought and speech can be powerfully energized, but be careful not to talk someone's ear off under this loquacious energy. Next up, Mercury square Mars, and Mercury is at 4 Leo and Mars is at 4 Scorpio. This square also fires up the desire to learn and share information, but it can also trigger verbal conflict. So this aspect loves to tell transformative truths with dramatic elocution. But be sure to also consider the feelings of those who are receiving your message. Sunday, August 3rd, we have the Sun quincunx Pluto for starters. The Sun is 12 Leo and Pluto is 12 Capricorn, rounding to the nearest degree. Any tendencies you have toward domineering behavior can be exacerbated with the Leonine Sun quincunx Pluto, but you can also choose to have this aspect support the transformation of your ego into the increasingly compliant tool of spirit. That's how I like to use it. What's coming up next week, the week of August 4th? Well, we've got an Aquarius full moon, a trine between two slower planets, Saturn and Chiron, awesome for healing. We're going to have Mars trine Neptune, energizing spirituality and creativity. 5 Mercury aspects. It's going to aspect Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, Chiron, and Saturn, pretty much everything from Saturn out. The Sun and Mercury are going to conjoin. We're going to have the Sun aspecting Uranus, Chiron, and Saturn. 3 asteroid goddesses change signs. We got some double-headed kite action. Pretty heavy week. So be sure to join me next week on my YouTube video forecast, and I'll be here as always to give you the best use of these energies. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my Benjamin Bernstein YouTube channel to be notified when I post new videos. And if you like this video, please share it from YouTube. This free video forecast is a partner project with iTunes' #1 astrology audio podcast, This Week in Astrology, which is also free. You can get my weekly astrology forecast in writing by subscribing to my free email newsletter at astroshaman.com. Once you're there, you can also link to my Facebook page and Twitter feed where I post daily forecasts. I'm all over the forecasts. My personal services include astrology, shamanic healing, and awakening activation. All are equally effective in person or long distance. My guarantee makes my services risk-free. If you don't feel that your experience was helpful, there's no charge. I also offer other great products and services, many of which are free. To learn more, visit astroshaman.com. Thanks again for watching. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your